Alright, so we're going to go over, kind of start trigonometry. We're going to learn a few things about it, kind of talk about some things about it. In the past, we've talked about Pythagorean theorem. Everyone knows how to do Pythagorean theorem. They know how to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know that. That's Pythagorean theorem. But now what we're going to do is we're going to bring an angle in it. We're going to give you one angle and two sides, one that we don't know. Alright, the important thing first is to identify some things. So when you're doing a problem, we have 37. So we're going to have opposite side lengths, adjacent side lengths, and we're going to have hypotenuse. The easiest one to find first always is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the longest side and always opposite of the 90 degrees, so that's hypotenuse. We label it as the H, but alright, HYP for hypotenuse. The side that's opposite of this is we start with our angle here, and we draw a line. The side length that I just crossed is the side that's opposite of my angle. And then adjacent means like next to each other. So this is my adjacent. So we're going to bring in three different new terminology that you're going to need from your calculator. And these are right here. So these are not called sin, cos, and tan. They're on your calculator right above, like, it depends on what kind of calculator that you got, but they stand right here. Sine, cosine, and tangent. In this terminology, you need to know this little acronym, SOHCAHTOA. You need to know it, you need to memorize it, and you need to know how to use it. So we're going to set up ratios. That's what they're called, trig ratios. Ratios are fractions. So, and it says right here, SOH is short for sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse over h. Ka is short for cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And TOA is short for tangent equals opposite over adjacent over a. So let's look at this. So this is what they're going to kind of look like in the beginning. Sine of b, cosine of b, and tan of b, tangent of b. So it's going to tell you what angle we're looking at. We're looking at b. So let's circle b. Let's identify everything first. This is always the h. We know that. You should always write that on top of your papers all the time when we're talking about this. So we're going to draw my line. Oh, look. There is my opposite. So I'm going to write an O, and then the one left over is always your A. Always should write that when you're talking about a problem. So the sine of B. Okay, so sine is O and H. Okay, O is 4, and H is 5. There you go. Okay, cosine of B. Okay, it's A and H. It says right there. And SOHCAHTOA. So A is 3, and H is 5. Tangent of B is O and A. So 4 over 3. So there's my sine of B. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. And it's still going to say it, but now I'm going to circle A. Because these next three are still talking about sine of A, cosine of B, and A, and tangent of A. So now this is going to be opposite, and this is going to be adjacent. So sine of A is 3 over 5. Cosine of A, which is A and H, is going to be 4 over 5. And lastly, tangent of A is O over A right here, and it's 3 over 4. Very good. Alright, now I'm just going to ask you to write the ratios. So sine of C, so once again, let's label C. This is my H. Oh, we should write that. And then the one opposite is 1 if I draw my line right there, and this is A. So sine, if I find sine is right there. Sine is SOH. So sine of C equals O over H, while sine of C equals O is 28, H is 35. And there we go. Alright, same thing. A, so I'm going to circle A. This is always my H. This is my O, and this is my A. Oops, that's O. So once again, SOHCAHTOA. So cosine of A. So cosine is right here. Cosine is cosine A equals A over H. Well, cosine of A, I'm going to find those letters. A is 30, and H is 34. Alright, tangent of X. So I circled X. I label everything. This is H, this is O, and this is A. So SOHCAHTOA. Tangent's right here. So tangent X equals O over A. So tangent of X, O is 32, and A is 24. Now they're probably going to want you to reduce that. Those are reducible by 8, so that's 4 over 3, and that's good enough. Both of those I would probably be fine with, but just letting you know. Alright, so this is what we're going to really get into. We're going to get into solving using our calculators. So first we're looking for x. So what I always like to do is, once again, I like to label my sides. This is my h, this is my o, and this is my a. So if I look here, I'm giving the o and the a. Which one do I know? Okay, that's tangent. That's t. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tangent of 37 degrees equals x over 12. Oops, this does not look very good. 12. So with these, I want you to, there's two ways you can do this. When the number is on the bottom, I want you to multiply both sides by 12. We're actually going to get an answer for this. So, recommendation, make sure your calculator is in degree mode. And the way you can tell if you're using my calculator, if it says DEG, you're good to go. If it says RAD, come ask me for help. And if you have another calculator, just ask me and I'll show you. But all you need to do is type in 12, and you need a calculator for this, times tangent of 37. So you hit 12 times TAN of 37, and you just hit equal. It's going to give you a lot of decimal places. So I'm going to do round to 1, but we don't need actually round to 2. 9.04, and that's your answer. So this is what you're typing into the calculator. 12 times tangent of 37. It should be your line right here, and that's what you get. Remember, we multiply because this is on bottom. The number's on top. We'll talk about that. All right, right here we have 51. So what I would do is I would label all the other numbers. This is your O and this is your H. You don't have to label the A. So I have O and H. That means we're going to use sine. So sine of 51. Oops. Wrong number. Equals 14 over x. Now, you can see now, guys, that the 14 is now on top and your x is on bottom. What I want you guys to do is take this and switch it. That means x equals 14 divided by sine of 51. So that means you're literally going to take 14 divided by sine of 51. And you're going to get x equals, I'll put 2 decimal places, 0.01. And there you go. And also it makes sense that my hypotenuse is bigger than the side length that I'm given. Alright, once again, 49. We have opposite hypotenuse, or adjacent, so TOA. Tangent here. So tangent of 49 equals 14 over x. Once again, it's on the bottom, so we're going to switch these two. X equals 14 over tangent of 49. So let's type in a calculator. Tangent of 49. To 2 decimal places, x equals 12.17. Alright, next one. I'll move this over here. So I have this one, I have opposite and adjacent. We use tangent again, so tangent 24 equals x over 12. Now my number's on bottom, I'm simply going to multiply both sides by 12. So I'm going to take 12, times tangent of 24. We have 5.34. There we go. Next one. Let's see how we got my angle here. This is opposite and this is adjacent. We're going to use tangent again. Tangent 68 equals O. Oops, not O. X over 21. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 21. Get 21 times tangent of 68. And we're going to get 51 point, I'll say 98. There you go. Alright, just a few more. 45, we have 45 here, and we know the opposite, and we know the hypotenuse. So we're going to use sine. So sine of 45 equals 35 over x. So the reason we do this, I want to show you guys, is we're actually set up a proportion. Same thing we learned in Unit 6. We cross multiply, you get x sine of 45 equals 35. And then to get that by itself, I would divide it by sine of 45. Because that's actually a number. So you can see that it just pretty much what happens is I just switch those two. So I'm going to take 35. And I'm going to get 49.5 when I round it. Alright. A few more ones of finding the sides. So once again, we got this one, we got adjacent and hypotenuse, so we're going to use cosine. Cosine 47 equals 28 over x. We're going to switch these two. Reason I just said in the last slide. So take 28 divided by cosine of 42. Get 37.68. Remember, guys, I know this is hypotenuse because it's away from here. This is my opposite side because it's literally opposite of this one, and that leaves adjacent. So that's how I know it's this one. And also I know it's cosine because if I look, A and H right there. All right, just two more slides. This one is adjacent. This one's hypotenuse. So that means we use cosine. So cosine of 59 equals 34 over x. Switch these two guys around. Get x equals 34 divided by cosine 59. So 34 divided by cosine of 59. And we get 66.01 for that one. Here we got opposite and adjacent. We use tangent. 55 equals 29 over x. Once again, we're switching these two. Get x equals 29 over tangent 55. 55, not 59. 29 divided by tangent of 55. We got 20.31. There you go. All right, last one. This one here, so this is adjacent and hypotenuse, so we're going to use cosine. Cosine of 73 equals x over 6. Multiply both sides by 6. 6 times cosine of 73 equals 1.75. This one here is adjacent and hypotenuse, so we're going to use cosine again. So cosine 72 equals 6 over x. So I'm going to switch these two and get x equals 6 over cosine of 72. So 6 divided by cosine of 72. I get 19.42. Alright, and that's how you find the missing sides.